Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. Been a while since we started one in the old truck, but I'm just warming it up. One of our subscribers, Ollie, thank you very much, has reached out to me only this morning on Instagram. Said, Rob, my neighbour's got this Volkswagen EOS. He's got a problem with a roof, with a window. Guys, we love a little challenge like this, and it's reasonably priced. He's been offered stupid money for it by the scrapyard. Ollie sent me his number. I've rung him up. He said it's far too good to scrap and definitely worth more than what they offered him. So we know scrapyards, they offer as little as possible. So I've spoke to the guy and absolutely, as long as it checks out, bought this car blind over the phone for an agreed price. It is right on my doorstep. As you know, I live in Sittingbourne and it's only in Rainham, so about a 10-minute drive. I'm going to do a quick check on it and we're going to head there and check it out. But fingers crossed, I think this is going to be another little peach. So as usual, guys, we would not buy a used car without checking it first. So we've logged on to Car Vertical. I've put in the chassis number. I've always thought that putting the chassis number in was a bit better than putting the reg in, because if it's had any private plates or changes, it does give you that little extra bit of confidence that the chassis is being checked against every registration rather than the reg being checked against that chassis, if that makes sense. So spotted activity was manufactured 8th of the 1st 2007, was registered in the United Kingdom 11th 2007. There's quite a bit of maintenance there, so had maintenance, quite a lot of services. I should think they would be main dealer being on this system. Was inspected United Kingdom. That is MOTs, etc. More maintenance there. It's all looking good so far. Tyre worn close to the legal limit. Bit of an advisory there. And a plate transfer there. And it actually come with that plate. So it was actually SH57XTX. That was the original plate on it. Had more maintenance. Failed MOT inspection. Yeah, all pretty much as we would expect it. This check was performed in all of these countries. We know that from previous experience. And all the mileage is going in a nice uphill direction there. And all seems to be fine. Guys, what I will do is tell you there is 9 helpful tips and tricks at the bottom of this check that you can check when you're purchasing a vehicle. So even if you haven't been to buy a vehicle before, there is 9 tips and tricks here that tells you the common problems with those cars on what to check for when you're buying it. What I am going to do is quickly show you a previous check we done on a vehicle that was actually advertised as unrecorded, and quite a lot of you guys would have already seen this one. Let's check it out. So guys, this is the recent Lamborghini that I actually videoed and I was trying to purchase out of the salvage auction, and it was advertised as unrecorded, and it will always come up on these checks if there's an issue in amber. And we're going to scroll a little bit further down and it actually tells you all of the dates that vehicle was previously damaged, and also there's a log there of all of the pictures when it was in auction before it was repaired on the 2nd 2017. So I want to say a huge thank you again to Car Vertical for the continued support on the channel. Guys, to benefit from that 10% off your must-do check, please use the link in the description. Right, let's go and pick up this car. Guys, I've just arrived. The chap asked me to bring the jump pack. The car looks really nice. Private plate, is that staying with it?
Yeah.
Right, so the private plate comes with it. And looks like a nice car. And it's this window that don't work, is it? Or
Yeah.
so there's an issue with the windows, and somebody.
Them there, they need to go back in.
Right.
I've left them there. Only clip in.
Yeah, so he's had a little go at it, but it has got a dead battery. But he said he starts up and runs, and like I said, it is reasonably priced. And the chap just said it is a really good car. I'm trying not to show too much, guys, because the man is in the background. He doesn't want to be on film, but yeah, it looks really nice and tidy, and you can see that he's looked after it. So we'll get the jump pack on it. As long as it fires up, we're going to be taking this one back to the yard. A little bit of a situation here, guys. So I've put the key in it. He has got 2 keys for it. Got one in my hand, and this one, the remote actually works. The other one that's in there, the battery's dead in the key fob. It's coming up immobiliser active. It starts up for 1 second and then just cuts out. So it's not allowing fuel, etc. It's definitely immobilisers active. So I did a bit of messing around there, disconnecting the battery. It's completely flat, putting a jump pack on it, giving it a chance to completely drained down, then putting the jump pack back on, still saying the same thing. I just put a key in the ignition, left it turned on with just the jump pack, battery disconnected for probably 5 minutes, and the immobiliser light eventually disappeared. But unfortunately I went to start it and the jump pack was dead because where I've been cranking it over. But this jump pack, I've had it for so long. I've got it on the earth and alive there, and I'm just giving it a quick charge, and then hopefully we can do the same again. Put a good jump pack on it, turn it over, get it fired up and get it on the back of the truck. It has actually got a brand new battery on it. Well, I'll say brand new, bought it 6-7 months ago, so it's new, but it's just gone flat. So we'll get a bit of life, and hopefully guys, we can get it out the back of the truck. Guys, good news. What I've done was actually put the key with the flat battery in, put it in the ignition and just left it for about 5 minutes. I had this before years ago, just give it a chance to read, but you can see everything is up there. Airbag light, traction control, flat light, cruise control, handbrake. It's all on. Obviously the handbrake light's going to go off, but sounded a bit rattly when it started up, but like the chap just said, hasn't run for 6 months, but seems to be running all right now. I am going to have to try and get it on the back of the truck with the jump pack in there, because I've got a funny feeling if I take that off. How old's that battery?
No, that'll run without that.
How old is it?
Years.
Oh, we're good. It's taking the charge, so we're all right. We can load it up. You don't have to do the sales pitch anymore. I thought that. Brilliant. Right. Yeah, I'll do that logbook now for you. Right, let's get it loaded. Absolutely fighting us all the way, this one, guys. The back brakes were locked on. This side's off. If I keep snatching it, I'm going to end up burning the clutch out, and then ultimately it won't even be worth doing. So I managed to get the truck up the alley. It did start moving back, and I'm hoping I can still actually get in the truck because it's pulling it tighter and tighter, but I'm sure we'll work it out anyway. I've been pulling it, just, you can see how close I've got it. We're going to try and unseize that back brake. If we can't, I'm going to have to put some sort of skid underneath it. Guys, I should have made a note at the time, but that really did take some time, and you can probably see just by looking at the back of the truck, it's probably the most crooked load I've ever done. I really struggled to get it on. That back wheel just would not let go, and of course this was all last minute slapdash, so I've got no wheel trims put under the wheel or nothing like that. But hey, do you know what? We got it done. We got it done. Let's get back to the yard. So guys, that bit of videoing I did that you've just watched was actually on Saturday, and we're halfway through the week now, and this has been stuck on the back of the truck. I wasn't joking when I said this was difficult to get in. That wheel was locked solid. So I've just popped out and I've been doing the Fiesta, which you all would have previously watched. And I said to Chris, he said, what shall I get on with? I said, mate, I think we need to try and get this freed off so that we can get this off the back of the truck and make a start on it. So while I was out, Chris established that the brake pads have been brake pads for too long.
Definitely.
They was...
yes. Stuck to the disc.
They were stuck to the disc, wasn't they? So he's had a bit of a clean up there. We're running freely now.
But that won't wind
That
back.
won't wind back with a wind back tool.
Solid.
So Chris has got out the big guns.
The heavy duty.
Thank you, Sealy, for the continued support. This is basically a ram, guys, a spreader, and he's put that on there, and it's going to get one shot at that. And if that don't work,
Just pops them, doesn't it?
yeah,
Hopefully.
just to pop it. He's not going to try and push it in because you've got to wind that back. If this does work, we won't have to buy a caliper, but hey, who knows? Let's have a quick look.
You see that?
Yeah,
Right?
I see it, mate.
Ain't budging, is it?
Nah, that ain't. Nah.
We'll leave a bit of pressure on it, shall we?
Yeah, mate, I think that's toast.
That might be change the caliper job on it.
Well,
We'll leave a bit of pressure on it, then we'll take this off and give it 10 minutes, and then we'll put that back on
and try it.
and see if it winds
If that
back.
don't work, I know our favourite place has got one of these and they're breaking it. So
The other thing we can do, Bob, is just stick a bit of. I've got some.
block of wood.
Well, I've got some big lumps of metal in there. We can stick one of them through with a little gap and jump on the brake pedal,
Pump it outwards.
pump it
Yeah,
outways, and
yeah, I
see if it
suppose.
just
we could give that a go, couldn't we? Worst way, I mean, we can get second hand or even a new caliper. I've just rung up and ordered brand new brake pads for it, so I might as well, I don't know, we'll have a look
We'll
at
leave
this.
that under pressure for a little while.
Yeah.
See if it just goes. If
And then
not,
worst, well, I can go and pick the pads up and get a caliper.
Yeah.
But we have started this one now, and we'd like to crack on with it because there is a bit of a weird issue going on with them windows, isn't there?
Yes.
Chris has charged the battery, and I just said, look at these windows, and there's like a switch to shut every window.
Yeah.
But when you pull it, one side's going up, and this one's
Going down.
Yeah, they're a bit. I can't do it, Chris. I've only got one hand. What are they doing? That's basically, there is an issue there, but we're not going to look into that until we got this sorted and we can get it off the truck. That was seized pretty tight. Chris had quite a challenge there to get it unfreed. He has unfreed it, put the new pads in it, put it back together, spun it round on the jack before we put the wheel back on, and it seems to be okay. So I'm going to get Chris to come out and put his foot on the brake while I unstrap it. I don't want to put the handbrake back on again in case it does lock up or lock up the other side. So let's get it finally unloaded. So it's finally able, guys. It does drive under its own steam, and we managed to drive it into the workshop. I don't know if I mentioned previously, but the brake lights were stuck on. But guys, the brake lights wasn't actually stuck on. Check this out. Oh, it's coming up now. Chris has oiled it up. He's obviously fixed it. So the pedal was going halfway down and it was staying down. So straight away, as soon as I brought it in, to save a bit of time, what I actually did was plugged it in to the OBD. You can see it probably lit up down there here. And I've done a scan on it. Let's get this out here actually. I should have been a little bit more prepared as usual. I've done a scan on it and it is like a Christmas tree. So we got comfort system, central control module, 1 fault. ID 74, something not found, 29 faults. Data bus OBD, that's a lot of faults. I mean, we're up 3 digits there. I can't quite work out what it says on there. 7 maybe. It's just got loads and loads of faults. So I said to Chris just walked back in actually. Since you oiled up the brakes, they're done.
Oh, are they?
The pedal's perfect.
Oh, that's good.
It's popping back on its own. So obviously it was just where it had been sat for so long. I don't know exactly how long this has been sat. We do need to do an MOT history check to find out. Anyway, guys, getting sidetracked again, I was there. You will see that Chris actually removed that door panel while I had it on the back of the truck. And the reason he did that, he said, Rob, if we can't rectify this or get the parts, ultimately, this car can't stay in the workshop forever, and we don't want it with a window down forever. So you can see he's removed the motor, and he's actually making up a patch lead over there somewhere so that he can get this window all the way, oh, he's got it in his hand there, all the way up so that it is sealed up and it can go outside. But it is very, very strange. Got the window switches. Sorry, guys, turning you upside down now. Got the window switches there in your hand. Passenger side. Oh, they're probably, none of them are working because that module's unplugged now, isn't it? But basically, this window is going the wrong way. Needs to do a bit of research, see if we can find out about something. But Chris has pulled the black box out of that, and it actually stinks, Chris, doesn't it? And you notice...
That plugs in like that, Rob.
Yeah, but
You
did
look
you
up
know...
in there, I don't know if it shows, it's all black.
Yeah, you can see that. And on the end of that as well, you can see, guys, if you just wipe that for me, Chris, just that little bit, that, yeah, so you can see it all coming off, and it actually stinks. So that module's burnt out, but they do come.
But what I've done, I've plugged that back in,
Yeah,
and you can see from the size of the terminals
yeah,
that there's 2 that operate the motor.
Right.
I think the rest are all to do with the roof, the other
other back
windows.
window.
Yeah, so I've hotwired those 2 and nothing.
really.
Yeah, so we're going to have to hotwire it without the module on to
Right.
get that to turn.
Get that to turn, and then we can get the window up ultimately. So the car has been sitting for a while. It had a dead battery, but it's got all those faults up on there. And also, guys, even when it's running, you got, well, actually, it ain't so bad this time. When I run it earlier, and that steering sensor, that should, I thought that might have been steering angle sensor, maybe, and it would reset itself. But a lot of the lights have gone out. Cruise control, we just need to go through and make sure all of that stuff is actually turned off before we try and clear it. But there is an airbag fault in there as well for the driver's airbag. There is loads of little problems with this one, and there is some paperwork there. It's actually been plugged in before. What did that paperwork say, Chris? Plug-in number 3 or plug-in number?
It's had 3 scans.
It's had 3 scans done on it. So someone has already had a go at it, and like I say, all this is already missing. It's in the back. So we're going to get this window shut up and then go through and see what we can clear off of there and what is actually in the system that we need to work on and get removed. Chris messed around with that window there, guys, and now this car can go outside. But Chris said, Rob, just run it up and down the yard, give it a try, put all air in the tyres. Guys, look, everything's gone out apart from the airbag light. So I'm going to plug that in, give it another code scan. So really, we thought that this had a lot of problems, Chris, and it actually looks like it's going to be those windows, which we're going to investigate in a minute, those boxes.
100 quid on me, mate.
100 quid.
Yeah.
It's a bit spiteful, isn't it?
We don't want to gamble on one of them.
I'll pop down Kent Autos. He has got one of these, hasn't he? And he said we can get bits. So I'm going to plug it in, see if I can clear that airbag light, or see. I'm sure it said the squib was the fault, but guys, all we can do is plug it in and have a look, can't we? But I did just test everything out as well, and it all seems to work, including stereo, sat nav. I won't turn that on just in case it starts blaring out music, but yeah, let's plug it in and see how we get on. So I'll just actually call Chris over, guys. While I've moved and wiggled these wires about, that is a crash sensor there, and you've tried resetting that code twice, and it just keeps coming
straight away.
So it could be that, could be another one, but all of the lights have gone out.
It does momentarily go out when
Yeah.
you clear it, but comes straight
Back on, so that's no good. So we're actually, what's the plan, Chris? We're going to leave that for a moment.
Well, you was going to pop round Kent Auto Salvage just on the off chance he's got one of those control units
Yeah,
to go on the regulator.
He's got one of these cars, and so I'm going to pop round there now.
But and then we go from there, really.
Yeah.
If he's got one, we plug it in, it fixes it all well and good. If not, let's put it outside until we get one.
And start and saying,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
right.
think it's worth buying one off eBay for 100 quid on the off chance.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I'll pop round there, see what he's got. Oh, guys, this is a bit of a shame. It's already gone. Don't worry, I know I'll just hit that door on that door, but I think you can see they're both destroyed, so that's why I wasn't that worried. That's gone, so this tells me one thing. The other side's gone as well. This must be quite a popular thing to go. You know, like on the Volkswagen Beetle we did a long time ago. The back one actually looks like that's complete and that's there. So if we end up needing that, that's not going to be a problem. But, what a shame. What a shame. Same interior in that one as well. He said this ain't even been here this long, and someone's already been down and had that, so it's going to be back to the drawing board, I think, and back to the yard. But it looks like if we do need anything else, that was actually quite a nice straight car, wasn't it? Right, let's head back to the yard. So guys, another little peach, yes or no? We actually think it's all right, and it hasn't got nowhere near the amount of faults that we first expected. I did just sit there and watch this video back just to purely make sure that it was all okay, and it all went together okay. There's no time lapse in it, which is always a nice plus as well, because that is the difficult part when it comes to editing. But I did realise that I didn't actually elaborate or say in there about the immobiliser fault, and Chris straight away nailed it. When I popped out and he was doing the rear caliper,
Yep.
he actually put it on charge on his snap-on charger and give it a proper charge. You done it on high to get the amps up, didn't you? Then he flicked
Took
it.
a charge straight away.
It did.
Then I dropped it back to trickle charge.
He dropped it back to trickle and actually left it on for a good couple of hours and give it that nice, slow, steady charge. And straight away now, it doesn't matter what key you put in it, the immobiliser fault's completely gone. And there's no mention of it on that OBD reader either. So we're all good there. it is unfortunate. I'd have loved to have unbolted that motor, bolted it in there and had that done today, but it never works out like that, does it? But it can go outside now. There's nothing to stop us putting it outside. It's not going to get wet inside. It's not going to get damp. I definitely think it's a good little car. Chris said, another private number plate there. We seem to be... and I couldn't quite work out what it said, but Chris said it says LEDW. So probably a really, really good plate for someone. And I actually think that that is quite a nice usable car. We've got summer up and coming. Fingers crossed we can get the bits for it, guys. I know some of you might have the parts for it, but please don't send us any Facebook links for that. That is going to be the end of the video on it. And we're not actually going to do another video on this, guys, until we have got the parts for it, because ultimately we'd be conning you by doing a video, because we can't actually do any more to it until we get the parts for it. So, little bit of an update. All of you do keep asking me in every single video, have you got an update on the Bentley? There is no update on the Bentley at the moment, guys. The update will come once the video goes live, and that will be along soon in the very near future. So, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram for the little sneak peeks throughout the day. Like, subscribe, share on all your social networking sites. And of course, if you've got any ideas or anything to add on the Volkswagen EOS, we always read the comments and listen. Have a lovely evening, guys, and we'll see you very, very soon in the next one.